Google have broken adding storage to G Suite plans, and then they fixed it. I'm going to tell you what's going on with Google's storage world right now. Today, I was enjoying my holiday, and my team sent me a message and said, Pete, you have to make a video about this because we have customers going crazy. Now, Google have made some changes to their Workspace plans and their G Suite plans, and it's caused a bit of a kerfuffle with storage. And so I'm going to try and help you make some sense of it. And if right now you've got emails not being delivered to people's mailboxes, or you've got warnings showing up in your G Suite user mailboxes, meaning that your staff are not able to upload files to Google Drive, or they're not able to get their work done, then I'm going to show you what to do about it. First, explain the problem, and then I'm going to tell you what to do about it. Now, if you want to skip to the end and just get it fixed, you can click the link down below, chat to our support team, and they've got a solution to help you out. Or you can chat to Google support as well. But I've got to tell you kind of what to ask for so you know how to actually get that support if you want to go down the Google route. Okay, so what happened? Well, we're in this big kind of shifting phase at the moment where we're shifting from Google G Suite over to Google Workspace. Now, it's pretty much the same thing, but Google gave it a rebrand and they gave it some new storage plans and some new pricing plans as well. And so rather than just tip everyone from G Suite plans over to Workspace plans, even though it's the same product, what Google did was they gave it a new name, gave it new pricing plans, and then have forced people to actually change and upgrade. Now, that's good in some ways because the pricing plans have finally got a proper redo, so they're more appropriate for small businesses who need small businessy features, and they're more appropriate for enterprises who need enterprisey features. And there are pricing to basically suit those different businesses and their needs. But what Google has ended up in is a bit of a challenge where they've got kind of this half pregnant, like old features running on the old plans, new features running on the new plans, some customers still on G Suite, some customers over on the new Google Workspace. In the meantime, they've also been releasing new plans and new features. And so you have G Suite Legacy going away, the old free version disappearing, but you also have G Suite Essentials, or I think it's called Workspace Essentials now, which has been launched for sole operators. So lots of different things happening in the Google Workspace plans world. So here's what's going on with storage. Now, Google users have always been able to purchase additional storage using their G Suite account, and that was previously bought on an individual basis. I mean, in the very old days, if you were purchasing through a reseller could actually assign storage licenses to each one of your users within your business, but the cost was prohibitive. It was, I think, 2 or 3 times the cost of the street price of buying additional storage for individual users. So most customers, even if they were working with a reseller on G Suite, would just be buying individual storage plans and assigning them to individual users. Now, some genius at Google had the idea at some point to actually consolidate those individual storage plans with Google's consumer version of buying additional storage, which was called Google One. And that became the way that you would then purchase additional storage still from your G Suite account, but you would buy a Google One plan for storage and you'd get extra storage. Now, for most users just working on a G Suite account, you don't really need that much storage. Like 30 gigabytes per user is quite a lot of storage if you were on the basic plan of G Suite. So that was initially $5 Australian a month, and then it went up to $8 a month a couple of years ago when they changed the pricing. But that inevitably caused a big problem, which you're going to find out about in a moment. Google then launched Google Workspace, and on the new plans of Google Workspace, they actually give you pooled storage, which is a smarter way of doing things. Basically, based on the number of users that you have, depending on what plan you've got a certain amount of storage per user, but it's all pooled together. So if you're using shared drives, if you're using other shared resources, which are a much smarter way of sharing data, particularly in Google Drive, what that does is it pools all of the storage together so that if you've got Bob, who happens to be using a little bit more, and Mary, who's not using much at all, then Mary can share some of her storage with Bob because it's all basically put into one place. Much smarter way of working. Now, that's all well and fine if you're on Google Workspace, but what happened was for those customers who are still on G Suite, and this happens to be many large organizations, including one of our large customers with over 1,000 employees, Google have actually gone and started switching off the old storage plans for their legacy G Suite customers. And some of those customers are still using those additional storage plans. And so what happened was, for some of our customers, they actually lost the ability to receive emails and lost the ability to upload files into their Google Drive because Google had removed the ability to add additional storage to G Suite plans. Now, we read through the help articles, and apparently admins were supposed to receive emails, apparently resellers were supposed to receive emails, but our team couldn't find any of those. Or if they were sent, well, our team didn't notice them. I think something could have been done a little bit better from Google's side to let people know, hey, flashing red light, warning, 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 your accounts are about to be disabled. And for a large organization, that could be tens or even hundreds of employees that are potentially unable to get their work done, which was the case for one of our customers. Now, this is a case of Google switching off old features when some of them are still being used. Why didn't Google just leave those plans running for the old G Suite users so they could still access the storage? Well, our support coordinator asked Google and said, hey, what was the reason for this? And Google basically said that because Google One is a consumer service, they wanted to separate it from their business accounts on G Suite. They didn't want to have the two conflated together. And for me, I thought, well, that's pretty rich, Google, because in the old days, we were able to assign storage to our individual plans within G Suite, but it wasn't called Google One. It was only after the consumer service of Google One was merged into the G Suite storage plans, I assume to make things simpler, that they effectively became one. And now Google's saying, well, no, we don't want business users to go anywhere near Google One. And so we're going to unplug it and switch that feature off, unfortunately affecting hundreds, if not thousands of customers in the process. To me, I think that's a bit rich to pull that move. I think at best case, it's misguided and poor change management, but at worst case, it's yet another strong arm to move businesses over to Google Workspace, which, in my opinion, could have been done much better. We have an existing product that customers could have just been rolled straight over into Workspace rather than having to change from a G Suite plan to a Workspace plan, which has caused a bunch of confusion over the last couple of years. Now, I understand, and I stand to profit from businesses making a new buying decision on what plan is right for them as they switch from G Suite over to Workspace. So I totally get Google's understanding. They want to increase revenue for the product, and that's good for everyone because it means more money to invest in new features, and it means that we're going to get a better experience for Workspace as customers. But this is a little bit of a slap in the face to users of G Suite who were using those storage plans and eventually are going to have to make the move over to Workspace when their contract expires. This just seems to be causing a mess when a mess didn't have to be created. Now, importantly, if you're using a Gmail account, so if you're using a consumer Gmail account, nothing has changed with Google One. You can still purchase additional storage, you can still sign up for family plans, and all those features are still there. I've got no idea what's going on with G Suite legacy plans because they've been on and off this year, and I don't know if anyone still has their G Suite legacy plans running, and they're the free users that signed up to them 10 years ago. If you're one of them, I'd love to know in the comments whether or not you can even access storage right now. But what I do know is if you do want to get access to individual storage plans and you are still on a paid G Suite account right now, and you've not yet made the switch over to Google Workspace, maybe you're a large organization and you've got discounted pricing which hasn't yet ticked over or expired, or maybe you're a business that's not yet, for some reason, ready to switch over to the new Google Workspace plans, well, what you can do is actually access Google support and ask them to switch back on the individual storage plans, and they will be able to help you allocate an individual storage plan. You may not be able to purchase it yourself, but Google support will allow you to get access. Second option is you can contact our support team. itGenius is a professional support team for Google Workspace. Click the link down below this video and you can chat to one of our team members. We service customers all over the world, and we'll be able to help you get back into your Google account and get your emails and everything rocking and rolling again. The third option is, of course, to consider a switch over to Google Workspace. If you switch to a Workspace plan, you'll switch over to the pooled storage, and you'll have the ability to not only potentially fix the problem just by making the switch if you've got enough pooled storage to cover all of your users, but the second option there is, of course, to purchase additional storage, which is available for all Workspace customers right now. Google, if you're listening, please, more heads up for your resellers and partners before you make changes like this. We've got customers beating down our door on our support desk right now. And for anyone else, if you're interested in getting more help with Workspace, well, there's 3 ways that we can help you. Number 1, you can join our free Workspace community. There's a link down to that below. It's a free community group for business owners and entrepreneurs to get access to other businesses working in the Workspace world, and there are free community support moderators in there who will help answer each other's questions. Number 2, if you're interested in learning more about Workspace, well, you might be interested to join our Genius Academy. It's absolutely free. You just have to transfer your billing through to us. Doesn't cost you anything extra. You pay the same street price, but you get a bunch of additional perks just for having a billing account with itGenius. We support customers all over the world, and you get access to a professional training video library. You get a free account health checkup from our team, and you also have the itGenius team on call for support for anything you need. Now, number 3 way that we can help if you need any support with your Workspace account over and above the free support that Google gives you. Well, we are business consultants, so we can help you not only with the Workspace subscription, but also everything to do with the Google ecosystem. Add-ons, help for business processes, helping you get the most out of the platform. You can even join us at one of our boot camps if you want to get your team up to speed on all the best features of your investment in Google Workspace. So if you're interested in any of those, make sure you click the link down below, and look forward to seeing you in the next video. Cheers.